Good morning, everybody. Come on in. It's breakfast time, and guess what I had a taste for this morning? Liver and onions with some grits. So, guess what? That's what I'm fixing. That's gonna be my splurge meal for the day, or uh, for the next few days. I'll just have to hoof it for the next couple of days. So I'll have me a half a cup of grits and a slice of liver with a little bit of gravy over it with onions. I'm doing it in moderation, y'all. So what I'm gonna do first, I've got the liver seasoned, very lightly salted. I'm gonna put a light dusting of flour over it, and then I'm gonna pan fry it in some olive oil, and then I'll make a little bit of gravy to go over it. And we're gonna show you how to do liver and onions. Some people probably think, yeah. Well, okay, whatever. If you don't like liver, this ain't for the faint of heart, y'all. So if you don't like liver, then you might want to not watch. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to switch burners here. I got my pot of grits already going there. Those are my onions. I've sliced up some onions to go in that gravy. That's my liver. I'm just going to sprinkle, like I said, I'm going to dust this liver with some flour. I want to dredge it. Don't need a lot of flour. This is just a traditional way to do liver and onions, is to flour it. Okay, I seasoned it already. You flour it. You just season it just like you would chicken or any other kind of meat that you're gonna fry and want it flavored up. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not putting a lot of flour on there, and we're gonna use a fourth cup of oil in that pan. And this is calf liver. Now there's beef liver, pork liver, all kinds of liver. I like calf liver because it's real nice and tender. So we're just going to put it in a little hot oil and just fry it up. Okay. Let me go ahead and get in the pan. I don't know if you've ever, this will bring back some memories for some of y'all, and for others it'll introduce something new. Now if you've had if you had liver at all, most liver has the same basic taste to it. Now it's how you make that gravy and what you eat it with. It has a lot of protein in it. I mean, if you can't, some people cannot eat liver because for whatever reason. So we're not gonna get all doctor on you with this liver. This is just plain good old grandma's liver and onions that we're doing here this morning. Okay. Now, I cook Kareem some cooked piece of sausage because he ain't gonna do liver. I already know that, y'all. I'm gonna need just a little bit. Those are nice big pieces of liver, by the way. Nice pieces of liver. So. Guess I probably should have cut these off the handle them a little bit. Well, okay, there we go. That handles itself. Okay. We're going to make room for this last piece, y'all. Room for one more. There it is, right there. And it doesn't have to be fried up perfectly in any order. It doesn't have to be in any particular shape or anything like that. I'm going to get my hands cleaned up over here. Sanitize these hands, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to get my counter cleaned off. Hope y'all are having a God bless morning too. It's Friday, so for those of you who work and work a 5-day work week, we thank God. We praise Him that we made it through. No matter what you were doing, if it was work or just if you retired, if you run your own business, if you're coming through an illness, we thank God this morning for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that's what we all should do daily. I tell people all the time, when I wake up in the morning, I'm so excited. You know, a lot of people say they get bored, they can't find a blessing, honey. To wake up in the morning, for me, is a blessing. So we give thanks in all things. The Bible says that we should do that. And that we do that makes it that much better. So I thank God for Jesus, because that's who wakes me up every morning. I don't care what's going on, what's happening the rest of the day. I'm grateful and thankful just to be here. So, back to the liver. Oh, yeah, okay. So we're going to just, fry it up about to that. Can you see that? They have a little bit of a crisp on there. Now that little bit of flour that's on that liver is going to help thicken that gravy that I'm going to make. I'm not making a whole lot of gravy. You know, I'm trying to be nice, but I want y'all to see the basic ways that you cook your liver and what it should look like when you turn it. Sort of like that.
You got for breakfast or something else?
Breakfast.
Huh?
Breakfast.
If I gotta wait.
Well, huh? Texas asked me one of these,
A hungry question.
Yeah, one of them, questions.
Wait a minute, okay. The sausage.
That's, I think, for Kareem. I know Kareem ain't eat no liver.
Okay, say that again.
Oh, she had her fort ready to spear. She's trying to start World War VI in here. Right, oh, I can't tell that. But anyway, this is what we're doing for breakfast this Friday morning. We're doing liver and grits. Honey, when it's cooking around here, it's like let me count my pieces.
Yeah, let me count the ways. I heard you were coming to this conversation about me.
Yeah, but do you realize that's the first time we have? That's the first time. You know, in life, let me just say this especially among us, because my family, we're a little bit off like everybody else. I mean, I'm the nice one. I'm the good one that can keep the level head, because I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, the mug, a set of dishes, the Oscar, the Grammy, and the Tony. But anyway, have you things ever happen among family or one friend that when it happens, when it's happening, somebody's standing back looking, somebody gets in between it, somebody changes the subject, and maybe maybe 2 weeks might go by before there's any discussion. So we had a little episode. So we just today, and for us that's unusual really, and on my part it's because I forgot about it actually, but something came up in conversation, and whenever it got discussed this morning, I got so tickled. I was belly laughing, because I want here to tell you, look, human instinct and familiar spirit. See, y'all have to know, y'all read the Bible so y'all can understand what familiar spirit and self-preservation and all that stuff is about. Because, honey, who you are at heart will come out if it's not completely washed away. You let the right thing happen and watch that booger pop up out of there. And if you can control it, we thank God. But if you can't control it, then we have to get some people on board to help you control it. So we're going to leave that alone, because I'm about to get tickled again. But anyway, this liver is just about to the point now where I'm getting ready to take it out of the pan. And we're going to go into making the gravy. Okay. Get it out. You know, it doesn't take that long for liver. And remember now, if you're going to cook liver, I would suggest that you buy calf liver. Because now beef liver is okay. It's tender, but nowhere near like calf liver. Is nice and tender, it's soft, and it's good. And of course, you have to like liver. I mean, everybody don't like liver. Some people don't like it simply by the way it looks. Okay, now I'm going to have to put a little bit more of oil in the pan. And I am going to probably make, let's say we're going to make maybe a good cup of gravy. We don't need too much more than a cup, because only 2 of us are going to eat this gravy. So a couple tablespoons of flour should be plenty. Like my grandma used to say, a gracious plenty. Okay, so we're going to get the fork here. Kind of have that heat on medium high and just get your flour going around there. Y'all know how it's just like it's just a roux. You make this gravy the same way you make a roux. Okay, I got the bottom of this the last little bit of my Smart Starter in this container. I'm gonna go ahead and add that little bit in there. Give it a little bit of a buttery flavor. Let's do this. And I don't don't know that anybody wants any eggs. Maybe somebody might want an egg. I don't know. To me, a little bowl of grits with some of that liver and onion on top of it, I'm good to go. I'm serious. I'm good to go with it. Okay, I'm gonna need a little. You need enough oil in that pan in order to brown. Because I put a little bit more. Okay, another tablespoon of oil so we can get that flour browned up there. Okay. And remember I told you too, the other thing too about the gravy, the breading on the liver will help to thicken also. So we don't have to make too much. So what are y'all doing this beautiful Friday morning? Oh, it snowed here. Well, I'll wait for the rest of that in. It snowed here last night. It snowed Thursday night. And if I can get to the door without dropping the camera and going through all of that, I'm going to try to let y'all see what the snow looks like. It snowed last night. Beautiful. The roads are not too bad, but bad enough to close the schools. You know, we're very cautious, especially in North Carolina. I don't know about the rest of the state, but honey, you let an inch or two of snow come up around here, and it's going to be time to close the school because we just don't take that chance with these children. Because the back roads, you know, in North Carolina, in some areas, there are a lot of little rural roads that are still dirt roads. And the school buses have to go in those areas. So for that reason, a lot of times the school gets closed. So they're not going to, you know, open schools up for some children and not for others. So sometimes we'll have a couple hours of delay, and then sometimes they just go ahead and not even go there because, you know, black ice. And remember this, y'all, black ice can be more dangerous than the snow itself. But one thing about black ice, you can't really see the black ice. And if you get out there on that road and don't see that black ice, it can be a dangerous thing. Okay, this is a little bit of garlic sea salt, just a little shake. And we're getting out some black pepper, which I won't put in right this minute. But we're going to let these onions kind of saute for a little bit and let that gravy. I'm going to pour the rest of that little butter that I've melted off in there. That's going to be some good gravy. Y'all know that already. But anyway, we got snow here. We got snow. The temperature, I think, is down in the 20s. So for me today, I got a couple of errands that I can run, but I got to figure out, you know, what's going on the roads. So I'm one of these people, honey. You don't have to tell me 5 or 6 times to stay off the road. I believe the people who are put in charge to, you know, call these things out and predict them and to orchestrate and to guide those situations. If you tell me I don't need to be out on the street and stuff like that, I'm not going to get out on the street. Here's what I'm here for when it comes to that. Okay, we just going to, like I said, we're going to let these onions and that flour continue to saute and brown up. And this will take a good 10 minutes. And then when it gets all browned and everything, what I will do is I'll pour a couple cups of water in there, stir it around, finish seasoning it up, and then drop that liver in there and let it cook for about a good 10-15 minutes. And we're going to have us some good old-fashioned onions and liver with gravy in the middle of a big old bowl of grits. So my grits are cooking pretty well over there. And like I told y'all the other day, with the grits, to keep them from getting all lumped and bumped and burned, I put them in I just set them in a bowl. Okay, let's see. Can we get a picture of them grits? I just love me some grits. I've already put some butter in, but I'm gonna drop me some more butter in there. So those grits, you don't see them bubbling because I got that water under there to keep them cooking, so that they don't burn up. But now remember, when you do this, you gotta cook them most of the way. Get them cooked and boiled up, and then you take and sit them in that water, and they'll continue to cook. But they won't burn. Okay, so let's go on off of here, and I'll be right back. I'm going to finish my little cleanup. Okay, I'm back. It's time to get the water going in that gravy. Cold water, y'all, tap water. That is 2 cups of water. Be careful about the heat under that. Don't have it up too high because when you pour that water into that sizzling gravy mixture, sometimes it'll pop up on you. So just kind of keep it medium-high heat and pour it in gingerly, as I say. Very gingerly. Just stir it around in there. Let me get you a little close up there. Okay, nice brown meat. If you like darker gravy, of course, you can cook it darker. Chef's choice. Okay, so probably have to put a little bit more water, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Wait on it. About a 1/4 a teaspoon of Goya. Or if you have some, say some beef bouillon cube, powdered beef bouillon cube, if you have some, any kind of little thing to, just keep flavoring it up. Of course, we got to put some, about a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper in there. Black pepper. Again, I'm not putting a bunch of salt in here because I put a little bit of salt on the meat. Just a little bit in here. But you have to put some on there. Got a little bit of seasoned salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon of seasoned salt. And just let that come to a boil to see how thick it is and see if you need to put more water. Definitely no more thickener because that little bit of flour on that liver is gonna go ahead and thicken it up too. Okay. Just let it boil for a few minutes there. But now if you want to add more salt to yours, if you don't have a salt issue, you put your salt to your taste. Since I have a little bit of a salt situation going on, I can't put a lot of salt in mine. So just salt it to taste. But that's how simple it is to do liver and onion. If you ever wanted to do it, go buy you some calf liver. This is just 1 pound of calf liver, and I used a medium-sized onion to make my gravy with, about 2 couple tablespoons of flour to make that gravy. Saute those onions and brown that flour in about a 1/4 cup of oil. And when it gets to the color that you want, pour that water in there, stir it real good, let it boil like what I'm doing right now, and go ahead and get it moving. So what I'm getting ready to do now, I'm going to add the liver into the gravy, and we're going to let that liver sit in there for at least 10-15 minutes or until they start getting restless. We'll start worrying if I'm ready. Okay, I have let mine cook in there as long as 45 minutes. It just depends. Chef's choice. 10 minutes will do it. And because this is calf liver, one thing about back in the day when Mama used to fix it, calf liver, of course, was more expensive. Mama would buy pork liver. Now, pork liver, all liver has the basic same taste, but pork liver has the best taste. Oh my goodness. But you have to cook it half a day to get it tender enough to be able to eat it. So now that I can afford to buy calf liver, I just go ahead and get me some tender liver from the start. So isn't that wonderful and beautiful looking? I'm going to put a lid on it. And we're going to let it cook. I'm just going to go over that bowl of grits so nicely. And like I say, you want to let that liver cook into that gravy so that flavor goes through it. I'm going to go ahead and get my lid and put on it. So for all practical purposes, y'all, this breakfast is ready. I'll probably do some whole fried eggs, as I call it. Hold on. Now I had to put Kareem some sausage over here to the side, so. Got Kareem some pan sausages. Honey, I already know he don't eat that liver. Now Tanya does not like liver. I don't know, I lost sight of that some kind of way. But she does not like to eat liver, so. You know, I'm like this. When it comes to eating, now when I grew up, it was like this. You ate whether you liked it or not, because if you didn't, then a lot of times you might miss out on eating, period. My parents could not afford to cook 3 or 4 different meals. Now when my children came along, my husband and I, Bobby Howe, we cooked, you know, whatever folk like. Because I believe in that, and so did he, because his mom believed in it. You sit down to the table, you need to be eating what you prefer, what you like, what tastes good to you, and all like that. So, Kareem does not eat liver, so cook him a couple of pan sausage and he'll be a happy camper with some grits and eggs. So y'all, I'm just about to sign off here, but you all know I'm going to put some Black History Facts on the menu as well, so y'all stay tuned. If you're not eating breakfast, if you haven't got yours together yet, you still got time, because we got to let this liver and onions cook for about 10-15 minutes. And you know what? You might not want to go this route. You might want to just do you some fruit or a piece of toast. Or just some fruit. I'm going to go on the other side of the room. You know why? I need something that I didn't take out. I'm coming, y'all. Y'all have to excuse me. Y'all know me. Y'all know this is at home, honey. We don't do all that extra pretend stuff. I need some, a little bit of smart stock in my grits. So let's get that. Let's get a little margarine doing these grits, since we can no longer have butter. And we don't have to drown them in the margarine either, because we have what? Gravy. Then put a lot of salt in those grits, because we're going to have gravy in them. Okay. So we're just about there. Like I say, with the, oh, that looks, look y'all, I wish y'all could know what this smells like and see what it looks like. It looks like steak. This could be steak. Let me show you something. The same way that I breaded that liver, seasoned, breaded, pan fried the liver, you can do it with chicken. You can do it with cube steak. You can do it just with regular steak, any kind of steak. You can do it with pork chop. Put it in that gravy, honey. But see, gravy, y'all know. Whew, Lord Jesus, so good. But we're not supposed to eat a lot of gravy, y'all. Y'all know that. But anyway, you could do any kind of meat that you want. Fish, I think, is probably the only thing. You maybe, I've never tried it with fish. I'm not saying you can't. And I don't have a recipe for it. But you can go ahead and cook this same, excuse me. You can go ahead and cook this same dish with other meats outside of liver, okay? So, here we go. There's the liver, some pan sausage, and that good old pot of creamy grits that we're going to be serving up in a few minutes. I'm going to do some pan fried eggs, and this meal is going to be complete. Love you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Now, have a God bless Friday. Be safe if you're in an area where the weather is rainy, snowy, icy, or whatever. And remember reconciliation, and to keep those prayers going up now, so the blessings will continue to come down. I may or may not get in the kitchen tomorrow, which is Saturday. It just depends on how my day goes. But I love you guys. Always good to come and talk to you and just to share with you. So I'm going to go over here in the next room and get some Black History Facts going. So y'all hang in there now. Don't leave. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to do our African American history Facts. Okay, so this is an African American history overview about things that happened in the very, very beginning. And this chart here goes back as far as 1492. And this starts with the milestones in African American history. Maybe you can zoom in and see some of these. So I'll just read through just a few of them. So we start up here in 1492. Black servants, slaves, and explorers came to the New World with the first Spanish and French explorers. In 1538, African American explorers Estevanico Little Stephen leads an expedition from Mexico, discovering what is now known as Arizona and New Mexico. So in all of these, you'll get a lot of first. First African American slave arrived in Jamestown, Virginia. Some of our Virginia viewers in 1619. I'll just go down the list here, and you'll have the opportunity if you want to share these with your young people in school and what have you not. We'll go back up again and just go through. This is just some information I wish I could put in everybody's hand, but since I can't, I'm going to try, and hopefully this method will work, okay? In the beginning, as we look right here in the center portion, it talks about archaeologists and anthropologists and historians all believe that the first human beings on the scene 2 million years ago were Africans. Okay, so we see that it's in print. So we need to research some of this history. About 50,000 years ago, agriculture began to spread throughout Africa, bringing along with it the seeds of civilization. So the earliest African civilizations grew along the Nile River, south of the large and powerful Egyptian empire. A kingdom called Kush arose about 2000 BC. So, that's 2,000 years before Christ. Okay, so we say an overview in the beginning. So we just go right down like this. And in the center there, if you can believe, this is so heart-wrenching and heartbreaking to know that this little picture there represent how African slaves came across the water to the Americas. Okay, so we'll just go down through there, pull back off of it. Okay, and this over here just continues to chronicle the dates of things that happened, some modern day things that you may have heard. I know you've heard of the great singer Marian Anderson. Became the first African American to debut at the Metropolitan Opera House. Rosa Parks sparks the bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama, when she refuses to sit at the back of the bus. So all these things here are into the 50s, which is a long way from 1492. In 1957, Congress passes, let's get a close-up of that, passes the first civil rights bill since 1875. So that's a long time to not focus on something so important. So I'm just excited to be able to share some of these facts with you. Of course, you can go on, Google these information, or go to the library. I don't know if people even still go to the library or not. Okay, Raisin in the Sun, that's a great movie that came out in 1958. It was written by Angela Lansbury, but it's Lorraine Hansberry. Y'all know Angela Lansbury is also a mystery writer and actress. Okay, so Lorraine Hansberry wrote the first play by an African American woman, and it opened on Broadway. So the name of that, these are some good quiz questions for school kids. Hint, hint. A Raisin in the Sun is the name of that play that was written by Lorraine Hansberry. By the way, my middle name is Lorraine. So, okay, in 1960, 4 students from North Carolina, my state, and tea began the sit-in movement at a local 5 and dime store. So a lot of things have happened throughout history that our young people don't know about, and some of these will help them to realize why we still fight for the right to vote, the right to be treated equal and all that, because all these things have already happened. Our forefathers have already gone through a lot of these situations, and we still fight for some of those things today. As I understand it, there are things still going on in Congress that our ancestors have been fighting for as long as we care to remember. And if we don't study this history, there's no way that we can know this history. Excuse me. Okay? So we just need to be aware of some of these things that go on in our own history and in our own time. Because, everything from 1954 on through the present, I lived through those things. So those are things that I try my best to talk to my young people, my family members and what have you. Try to talk to them about those kinds of things so that they understand why we have to fight for what we want and for what we have already fought for and we're still fighting for. But history is history, and I think we need to know our history regardless of what the situation is or how anybody feels about history at large. So African American History 2020, this is another Black history fact or African American history fact that you can just put in your archive, go research, and please use this chart if you can. So I hope it came across in a way that you are able to use it. Now I'm going to flip it over on the back at another time, and we're going to do a little quiz the next time. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you all for the love and support that you've shown me on my YouTube channel, just in general. So listen, it's Friday, y'all. Have a blessed Friday. If you're in the area where the weather is not that great today, be careful. Keep those prayers going up so the blessings will continue to come down. Continue to pray for all the things that are happening in our lives throughout the country. So, of course, continue to consider reconciliation. Keep it at the forefront and do the things that you need to do to get a solid grip on reconciling your situation. So until I cook again or bring you the next set of Black History Facts, let me say, love you guys. Keep those prayers going up now so the blessings will continue to come down. Toodaloo.